Yo, check it. All right, we got an absolute banger for you guys. AMC and GME, are we setting up for a potential rally, and what targets for that rally? Also, Bitcoin. Is Bitcoin going to pump or dump to the downside in the market? What is it doing? Is SPY going to reach all-time highs? We're going to answer these questions and more in this video. Let's not waste a second of your precious time and hop in the charts, facts, data. Let's go.
All right, fam, what is up? You are back for another video with Datazero. In this video, we're looking at AMC, GME, and SPY. This is your weekly outlook and prediction. This video is not financial advice, should not be taken as such. Please do your own research and due diligence before buying any stock or crypto asset. With that being said, let's go and hop in the charts, facts, and data and show you all what's going on for this week. So the first thing I want to point out is fundamental data here. For the meme stocks, 3 million short shares for AMC, 3 million short shares for GME. The thing that is different right now is short interest, 9.7% short interest on GME. AMC short interest sitting at about 15.46%. Now we're looking at cost to borrow. Cost to borrow is slowly ticking to the upside for GME stock. We talked about this on the channel that we could potentially see a pop to the upside here on cost to borrow. You can see that there is a ton of shorting volume. So shorting is going crazy here on GME stock. They're shorting, but cost to borrow is getting less and less and less. When you see that type of divergence, you're most likely going to see a pop to the upside in cost to borrow. You can also see these wicks to the upside here on cost to borrow. So due to that analysis, most likely cost to borrow is going to see a spike to the upside towards that 1.5% range. And if we do see cost to borrow move towards that range, you'll see a pop to the upside and price on GME stock. Now, we talked about this on the channel as well. It is important to look for cost to borrow for the meme stocks because it shows what's going on in the background. Is liquidity drying up? Are there shares available? All of those questions are answered by cost to borrow, FTD, short interest, things like that, so we can peer into the background and behind the curtain and see what's going on. Now, I think that we're going to see a pop to the upside on cost to borrow. And again, when we see these pops to the upside on cost to borrow, price starts to move up. I've showed you this numerous times on the channel. When we see cost to borrow spike up, you can see it spike up around these times that we had these major rallies for GME stock. When you see cost to borrow spike up, you see price spike up as well. So I think there's a chance that GME stock could be setting up for a potential rally. And if we do see a rally, obviously things can get exciting for the meme stocks, especially if GME stock breaks above that $30 level. That's the key level for GME stock. We break and hold 30. You're going to see a nice push to the upside here for GME. Now, this is what I'm looking at as far as the falling wedge is concerned. You can see that we broke out and have this overall uptrend. You can also see that we have this sloping support and resistance, which means we'll most likely see a pop to the upside if we can break above this sloping support and resistance. What I'm expecting to see here on Monday is a rise in pre-market and then a drop down to about 22.44, maybe even 22.32, confirming those levels as support. Once we confirm those levels as support, you're going to see a recovery back to the upside and potentially breaking above the sloping support and resistance. Now, whether that happens on Monday or Tuesday is going to say which day will be more bullish. The day that we use that level as support, you're going to see a nice move up. Now, there's also a gap fill up here to the upside as well at about 22.64, meaning that liquidity is up there. So the algorithms are going to want to hunt for that gap fill. We do have gap fills to the downside on GME stock. We need to be aware of this, but there is a gap fill to the upside. Most likely, we're going to see a move to the upside as well, based off momentum and other technicals. You can see here on the 4-hour time frame, if we go ahead and pop on the alligator is showing us that their overall uptrend is confirmed. And if we go ahead and pop on the super trend, you can see that we have a 4-hour buy signal as well. And also on GME stock, we have daily MACD green. So these are all key indications that GME stock is about to see a move to the upside. And based off of everything I'm looking at, it looks like there's going to be a decent rally for GME stock. If GME can break and hold that $25 to $26 level, you're going to see a nice move towards $30. And obviously, if we can get $30, that's when things can get really, really interesting for the meme stocks. Now, what we're looking for this week overall is that move towards 25 to 25.93. So you can see that we have this range here. And we talked about this with the overall falling wedge. I gave you guys 3 price targets. I told y'all since we dropped down from that $29.99 level that the ultimate target for that falling wedge would be be that $29.99 level, but we also have smaller price targets as well. The first price target was that $22.32. I told you all if we use that as support, we could start pushing towards $25.03 and $25.93, and we have officially used that as support, and it looks like we're going to confirm it here this week and get that move towards that $25, $26 level here for GME stock. So that's what we're looking at for this week. But overall, I think we'll have a green week, and between this week and next week, things should be able to get interesting for the meme stocks. Again, I know it's been boring overall for most people. We're used to a lot of volatility, we're used to a lot of movement, and the meme stocks have been overall flat at these overall ranges for quite some time. So people are kind of getting bored and kind of just, you know, tuning out of the play and stuff like that. But things can pop off at any moment, and we know that because we've seen this here. Things just start to go crazy. They can literally pop off at any moment. You need to expect the unexpected with these particular stocks. So fundamentals improving, technicals improving. GME stock looks good. I think overall we're going to see a green week for GME. So that's what I'm looking at for GME. Let's go ahead and move into AMC and show you all what's going on for AMC, what we're expecting on Monday and throughout the rest of this week. So you can see that we had a bearish Friday. They pushed us down towards max pain. They wanted us to close slightly under max pain at about $4.99, $4.98. That way the calls are not in the money. A 502 close would have been a lot better for the apes because that would have been above support and resistance, and also $5 calls being in the money. But you can see that we got a recovery right as the market closed. So as soon as the market closed and the manipulation starts to slow down, we get a recovery. Again, Friday was a low volume day. They dumped short shares. We had a bullish power hour prediction. They dumped short shares right here, literally dumping them right here. We watched that on the live stream, and then pushing it to the downside. Again, dumping shares on a low volume day has a lot of effect. They also routed a lot of orders to the dark pool. 63% dark pool volume was on Friday. So absolute insanity for AMC stock as they reroute the orders and commit this absolute crime. Now, there are things like the CAT system pointing this stuff out, but those do take time to implement. As we can see that Andrew Left just got caught up for GME stock. Now, AMC, I want to see a move above 502. If we can get a move above 502, confirming that level of support, you're going to see a nice move to the upside. The main levels we're looking at here for AMC stock is that 200 moving average. We talked about that extensively here on the channel. That is why things are different for AMC stock. Again, this is the beginning of a potential bull run. It's methodical. It's building a base of floor so we can move to the upside and get to these higher levels. Now, if you look at what's been going on overall when we zoom out on AMC stock, you can see that we had this range here, drop down, and then got this huge pop to the upside, and now we're in that overall range again. What we're doing is building bullish support. Now, what's different is the 200 moving average. We tried to test it as support, couldn't get above it, can't stay above it, getting rejected, getting rejected, getting rejected. Now, look what's happening here. When we zoom in and really analyze what's going on, you can see that we are trying to use the 200 moving average as support. Now, Friday we did drop below it. We're using this overall sloping support and resistance as support. You can see on the 4-hour time frame, we got a nice bounce off of that level, and I'm thinking that is going to hold, and that's what's going to give us a push to the upside and get us back above that 200 moving average, which is at about 508 here on the daily time frame. Again, the significance is the daily time frame. The 200 moving average is a signal to traders everywhere that AMC stock is going bullish on the macro. We're also setting up for a potential golden cross as well. Golden cross is when the 50 moving average crosses over the 200 moving average. You can see the 200 moving average is marked here in white, 50 moving average marked here in gold. When the 50 crosses over the 200, that's a golden cross, and it is a big deal. It is a signal to traders everywhere and investors everywhere that AMC stock is going macro on the bullish. So not only do we have a break above and holding the 200 moving average as support, but we also have a golden cross, which is a major bullish technical signal. So AMC stock, we want to see get back above 508. Once we get back above 508, that's when we're in position to really start to make a move. The levels that I'm looking at for AMC stock really is 525. Once we get above that, I think things are going to start to get more interesting. And the reason why it is different, because we've been using the 200 moving average as resistance. Once we flip it as support, it will remain strong support. So once we actually break above it and confirm it as support and stay above it, it's going to be strong support. You can see we broke above it here. Then we stayed above it. We got a bounce back above it here and stayed above it here. And then we're back below it. I think we're going to get a move back above this, confirming as support. And that is a very bullish sign for AMC. So what we're looking at here is a break above 508, and if we can break above 508, that's when things can start to get interesting. The main level obviously is $6, the same way $30 for GME. If AMC breaks above $6, you're going to see a nice move to the upside. Now you can see that there's buy orders down here as well for AMC stock. So it looks like anytime AMC stock is getting pushed down, it gets bought up very, very quickly. That's why I think this floor that we have will hold. You can see historically it has held because we've been trading in these ranges for overall almost 3 months. You can see the last time we had a big push to the upside for AMC stock, we did trade in that range for about 3 months. If we go ahead and zoom out and show you the last time we had a major rally for AMC stock, so we had this big push up and then we traded in this overall range for about 3 months and then got another big move to the upside. There is no reason why AMC stock couldn't see another push to the upside, filling these overall gap fills, which I think that's what we're going to attempt to do. Now that is way out into the future. Right now we want to worry about this first gap fill and these first levels of breaking $6, the first gap fill being at about $11 to $12. That is going to be our first price target for a move to the upside for AMC stock if it can break and hold that $6 level. And then if we did get to that level, then we have the other gap fills. Now, if a overall squeeze did occur, somebody asked me in a super chat during the live stream what type of price targets we could see. It would really depend on when that squeeze happens, what type of economic conditions are happening. Why did that squeeze happen? Was it a crash in the market? Was it a true short squeeze that shorts got squeezed out and they started to have to cover because gamma got crazy? How did that short squeeze happen? So when we do see that set up, that's when I'll be giving you guys price targets and things of that nature. And if we do see a potential move or setting up to that move, that's when I'll come out with price target videos, because the price targets can vary based off the technicals and fundamentals behind that short squeeze. So this is what I'm looking at for AMC stock. I think we're going to see an overall green week in my personal opinion as we start to confirm that 502 level as support and confirm the 200 moving average. Now I want to point out a few things here on the macro as well that are extremely bullish for AMC stock. We have a buy signal here on the weekly time frame, which is absolutely legendary. You can see that we've only had this buy signal a few other times, and each time we've had it, we've had massive moves to the upside for AMC stock. So we have a buy signal on the weekly time frame, we have green weekly MACD, and we have green monthly MACD as well, and we're about to get a golden cross and use the 200 moving average support. These are all signs that AMC stock is bottoming and fundamentals are improving. Deadpool is going absolutely crazy. We have the Ushers tour as well coming out, so we're doing more and more shows, and these are extremely lucrative for AMC stock. AMC stock also taking over market share. The meme stocks are going bullish macro, in my personal opinion. I think instead of seeing an overall downtrend, we're going to see an overall uptrend, and this is going to be very, very enjoyable for the apes. So stay tuned, lock in, hit subscribe right now for more technical predictions for AMC, GME, and SPY. Overall, AMC, I think we're going to have a green week, in my personal opinion, and that is what we're looking at and why we're looking at it based off the charts, facts, and data. Now let's go ahead and move into SPY, show you what's going on for SPY, and then move into Bitcoin and then wrap up this video. So SPY has had a massive rip to the upside. You can see that we're getting the sell signal here. Momentum is starting to fade. We're also getting some divergence as well as price is trending up while RSI is starting to trend down. It looks like we're going to come up for this gap fill on SPY. There's a gap fill here on the daily time frame, and I'll show you that gap right now, and it's right around the all-time high levels. This has happened when we had these huge flash crashes to the downside. SPY has been extremely volatile, okay? This is not a normal healthy market. A normal healthy market doesn't have these insane flash crashes to the downside and this insane up and down volatility. The VIX should be much higher, in my personal opinion, because volatility is going absolutely crazy for the overall market. So what I'm expecting for SPY to do is start to push up towards this gap fill. Again, algos hunt liquidity, and these gap fills are liquidity zones. So the algo is going to hunt for that. It looks like it's hunting for it right now. We're getting this major push to the upside, even creating gaps to the downside along the way, which assures me that SPY will be moving back to the downside. Also, RSI being at these insane valuations. Again, SPY is running into the problem over and over again as no room to run, because we're getting to these points where RSI is just way too hot on the macro time frames. You're also starting to get this crazy divergence here on the weekly time frame as RSI continues to make lower lows and price is making higher highs. So this is not looking good on SPY as RSI is slowly starting to trend down and price is starting to trend up again. On the weekly time frame, that type of bearish divergence is nothing to play with. I showed you here on Bitcoin as example. Bitcoin had a major crash when we started to get that divergence here on the bigger time frames. This was on the daily time frame for BTC. You can see if we rewind time, this would have saved people a lot of money if they noticed this divergence. You can see price starting to trend up, RSI trending down, Bitcoin having a major correction to the downside, and that is something very similar that you could see for the overall market. So I think SPY is going to push up for this overall gap fill, come for that range of about all-time highs, which there's major resistance, and then potentially start to see a pullback, especially once we break down on this channel. I'm going to be watching this channel extensively. It's the same as this channel here. Once you see a breakdown out of that channel, you're going to see a big move to the downside, and SPY is making another channel, so we're going to be watching this channel extensively. What I'm thinking is SPY is going to do is come up to that all-time high range or slightly higher and then start to pull back in a big way. Based off of everything I'm seeing here, I'm starting to see bearish divergence. I'm seeing MACD start to curl to the downside as price trends to the upside. So all of these things are telling me that price is going to shoot up and then snap back down, which is going to devastate a lot of traders. Again, in this market, it's absolutely imperative that you stay on your P's and Q's because the prices are going crazy. These swings are wild, and they can absolutely wipe you out if you are not on your P's and Q's paying attention each and every day. So make sure you put in that 10,000 hours, watch the whole video, and get all of the context for everything going on, trying to learn and master your craft as a trader and investor. So this is what I'm looking at for SPY. I think overall we'll probably see a green week, but it's not going to be a huge green week. It's going to be mostly flat because we're going to trend up in the beginning of the week and then start to pull back, breaking down out of this channel once that gap is filled. I don't know if we're going to break all-time highs or not. Again, if we did, I think we would see a slight peak above and then pull back. I don't think it would be a break above and a huge trend to the upside, in my personal opinion. The major level of support and resistance that we're going to be looking for is that 564.86. If you did break and hold that level, you could see a nice pop to the upside, but I would expect that to be met with an overall downturn, in my personal opinion, making an overall double top type structure for SPY. So again, even if it made a slightly higher high, I'm thinking SPY is going to make an overall double top. Again, this is looking far out and projecting very, very far. And if I do call this, it would be a very good call in my personal opinion. But I'm thinking we could see SPY make a double top type structure where it comes up slightly higher or to the same height and then starts to pull back in a big way. And we will start to notice that and track that here on the channel. And if it does come to fruition, you did hear that first. Again, MACD on the weekly time frame going bearish. RSI giving us little to no room to run. These are all indications that make price structure of a double top, in my personal opinion. So that's what I'm looking at for SPY. I also think they're rotating out of the tech stocks and into the lower cap stocks, which will do well during rate cuts. And I think rate cuts are coming around September, in my personal opinion. Now, as far as what we could see for data drops this week, we have FOMC minutes here on Wednesday, and then Fed Chair Powell speech here on Friday. I will be streaming that if there is a way that I can view the actual speech, which there normally is. So I will be streaming that on Friday. And you can see that FOMC minutes is happening here on Wednesday, and I do stream during market hours, so hit that like button and subscribe for live updates and predictions. So that's what we're looking at for data drops. FOMC obviously going to be huge. That's on Wednesday, and then we have a speech. That's why I think we could see bullishness in the beginning half of the week and then bearishness in the later half of the week during this week, but overall giving us a green week for SPY. Now that's what I'm looking at for SPY in the overall stock market. Let's go ahead and hop into Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, and then wrap up this video. So Bitcoin is shaking a lot of people right now. There's a huge amount of fear in the overall stock market and the crypto market. If we look at crypto fear and greed, if we go ahead and pop that on, you will see that there is fear in the crypto market. So there's fear in the crypto market, even though Bitcoin's price is near all-time highs. Now, 73K, that's about a 20% drop to the downside where we're at right now. But still, we are near all-time highs, and the fear is in the crypto market. That's telling me that we are potentially building a floor at these higher levels, which is very, very exciting as a BTC holder and someone who's very, very bullish on BTC in the future. We're also making this overall bull flag. Now, I want to tell you the pros and cons about this bull flag. The one thing I don't like is this big wick to the downside, leaving the overall bull flag structure. The fact that it is a wick telling me that most price action traded up here, which is good, validates that we could potentially see this overall bull flag play out. There's also a bull flag on the overall Bitcoin ETF. And since the Bitcoin ETF, the BlackRock, the one that we've been following, this is the biggest one. Since it's came out, Bitcoin has really started to move with the Bitcoin ETF, and that's also has a bull flag as well and a gap fill to the upside. So there's a potentiality that Bitcoin holds these levels and starts to push back to the upside. Now, to know if Bitcoin is bullish, you want to see it break above 61,300. If we can break above that level and hold its support, that means we can move towards that 69,200 level and then potentially break out of this overall bull flag. Now, this could take quite some time to happen. We could see a huge amount of consolidation in this overall range before this happens, and this could take a long time. This is on the macro, but it looks like, again, Bitcoin is building a bullish base that could set up for a push to the upside. And BlackRock and everyone got in around 49,000 when all of the institutional money really started to come in. I really don't think they're going to try to let it go much below those levels. And that's why we're trying to build a floor around this range. So I think Bitcoin overall could see a potential move towards these all-time high ranges, but it's going to take a little bit longer than we expected. I want to see Bitcoin hold 50K. As long as we hold 50K, I will remain bullish on BTC, and I don't think we should expect much more downside targets than 50K, in my personal opinion. If we lost 50K, obviously that would change things, but as long as we hold that level of support, I would just expect overall upside targets. Again, this bull flag could take quite some time to play out, but I think BTC is setting up for a potential move to the upside overall when the macro is concerned. So that's what I'm looking at for Bitcoin. As far as Ethereum is concerned, we did break down out of the bull flag, making this overall double top type structure, but it is recovering back to the upside. You want to see Ethereum break back over 3,000. As far as the altcoins are concerned, until Bitcoin gets a bigger move to the upside, I don't believe you're going to see that massive altcoin season that we're all looking for. So I really think Bitcoin needs to break past all-time highs or higher, and then that's when you're going to see altcoins really start to rip. Now, some altcoins did take off during this massive move, but some of your favorite altcoins did not. And I don't think we're going to see that crazy altcoin season until Bitcoin makes a bigger move to the upside. I know a lot of us were looking for that altcoin season, and it didn't just pop off. Bitcoin and then some altcoins popped off. That's why it's very good to determine which altcoins are the best projects based off of tokenomics, fundamentals, and not just buy because you heard someone say, hey, this is a good coin. Coins take off because of tokenomics, fundamentals, community, things of that nature. So this is what I'm looking at for the overall crypto market, Bitcoin and crypto market. This was your weekly outlook and prediction. If you found this video informative, go ahead and drop a like. I appreciate it if you managed to watch to the end of this video to get the video and the entire context and put it in your 10,000 hours. Leave a comment down below to help support the channel. But if you want to support in a different way, you can check out the merch store or send a super chat on the live streams, which I greatly appreciate, by the way. You can see that we do have a merch store. I'm rocking some of the merch right now. As you can see, the hat and the shirt, and you can customize this stuff. We have stuff for guys and girls, and we have a ton of new things coming out all the time. So make sure you check out the link in the description and comment section below. And I appreciate each and every one of you because I literally could not do this without you watching. And as always, y'all, have fun, stay safe, make money. Peace out.
Alright, y'all, that was the video. If you found it informative, go ahead and drop a like, press subscribe for more content like this. Remember, you can check me out on Twitter and Discord for even more Datazero updates. And I appreciate each and every one of you because I could not do this without the fan behind me. Amazing support from the community. And as always, y'all, have fun, stay safe, make money. Peace out.